This is the only bar on the market that turns your bike into a mobile fit studio. Let's take a look. Hi everybody, Nick from TriRig here. Today I want to walk you through perhaps our most important product, the Alpha One Aerobar. This bar, more than anything else we sell, makes a real, tangible, measurable difference to how athletes perform and how they interact with their bicycles. Alpha One wasn't our first Aerobar. Its predecessor, Alpha X, was a traditional dual spacer stack design, and although it was already a best-in-class product, we just felt that the whole category could be so much better. The Aerobar is your home on the bike, and also the first thing to cut through the wind as you ride. So it's critical from both a fit perspective and an aerodynamic one. There's so much an Aerobar needs to do in order to maximize its function. Here's what we think of as the critical requirements for an Aerobar. 1. Easy stack adjustment without the need for a box of hardware and a trip to the bike mechanic. 2. Easy reach and stance width adjustment without having to disassemble anything else on the bar in order to access the necessary bolts. 3. Easy and continuous tilt adjustment from below horizontal to at least 12 to 15 degrees of rise. Again, without disassembly or needing a mechanical engineering degree. And 4. We need to accomplish all of this in a package that's as minimal as possible with the smallest possible frontal area. And if we could make it UCI legal for our friends in time trial events, that would be great. Yet in 2024, Alpha One is still the only Aerobar on the market which ticks every box on the list. Despite the slowly growing understanding in the industry that we need these things, most companies don't bother to prioritize them. Even if they sell a bar that can technically adjust, stack, reach, and tilt, they often do so in a very cumbersome and technical way, meaning you need a whole lot of parts, a deep understanding of the user manual, and often a dedicated mechanic just to make the simplest of changes. Side note, back when I was customizing bikes for Andy Potts, between myself and an assistant, both of us reasonably technical and capable bike mechanics, we needed over 4 hours to make a 5mm stack adjustment to his sponsor-mandated Aerobar. It was a nightmare. Quick rule of thumb, if you're looking at buying any Aerobar or a bike that comes with its own integrated bar, and that manufacturer doesn't explicitly show you how to make adjustments for stack, reach, and tilt, not just a fancy animation showing that it's possible, but actually showing someone doing the adjustments in real time, then that bar is probably a nightmare to work on. Most of the time, the slicker a bar looks, the bigger a headache it is to live with. And that brings us to Alpha One, which is the exception to that rule. It is the slickest, fastest, most minimal Aerobar you'll ever see, and yet every adjustment on this bar can be made with a single 4mm wrench, by yourself, without a trip to the mechanic. In fact, you can even make adjustments mid-ride. Want to test a position that's 5mm lower? No problem. Just pull over, take out your wrench, and in under 30 seconds, you'll have the adjustment completed and you'll be back on your ride. Just like that. Want to try tilting your arms up a little bit? It's just these 2 bolts right here, which offer continuous adjustment from -5 to +17.5 degrees. No extra parts, no swapping spacers, no hassle whatsoever. There is literally nothing else on the planet with this degree of simplicity, functionality, and versatility. That's why Alpha One has won awards, including a patent on its stack and tilt function. In fact, Jim Manton of Aerosports, professional bike fitter who has worked with athletes at every level, from the first-time weekend warrior to multiple Ironman winning champions, he's called Alpha One God's gift to bike fit. Now, setting aside the question of whether that makes me God, the point is that this bar changes the game on how an athlete can relate to their bicycle. The fundamental truth of bike fit is that it changes over time. Every athlete benefits from changing their bike fit, whether due to improving fitness, aging or injury, refinements in our understanding of aerodynamics, etc. Every person can benefit from testing small tweaks over time. But most people don't, because it's complex, cumbersome, and expensive. But with Alpha One, testing a position is a matter of one wrench and a few seconds of time. Okay, but now that you know the function of Alpha 1, let's take a look at its aero design. This one was very interesting. Previously, we'd been designing bars with deeper and deeper airfoils with aspect ratios as deep as 6:1. We even considered the possibility of designing this bar with two separate base bars, one with a deeper airfoil and one with a shallow one to remain UCI legal. Or we contemplated making one bar and then a snap-on fairing to make it deeper. We designed these things, we tested them. We tested over 100 different shapes using CFD analysis on tiny changes and refining over time until we found, in fact, that our fastest shape was a complex wing with dynamic 3:1 truncated airfoils, which became the final shape that you see here. The cross-section of Alpha 1 isn't a single airfoil. It changes as it transitions from the stem to the wing body, throughout the wing, and over to the hand grips. We made that shape as narrow as possible for the lowest possible drag, and made sure that every shape blends seamlessly into the next for the smoothest possible shape for the wind to cut through. And yet there's still room inside the stem. This is with the cable cover removed. For cables, electronics, hydraulic lines, anything that you need. It uses standard pinch bolts for easy installation and can install on any bike with a standard 1 1/8 inch steerer. In short, Alpha 1 is our idea of the perfect triathlon or time trialing front end. It helps you hit your fit easily while offering the ability to change things, to tweak your fit over time without the hassle of disassembly or a trip to the mechanic. It completely changes the game on what you can expect for your bike, and it opens up a whole new world of possibilities for athletes everywhere. That's why when we went to design our Omni bike, we started with the shape of Alpha 1 and designed the frame around it. Of course, that's a story for another day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.